Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Star Citizen. Today we're going to take a look at this RSI Mantis. RSI Mantis is a ship for interdiction. So what does it mean? It means that, well, if you guys watched Star Wars movie a lot, then you probably know that there is some sort of ships, looks like a Star Destroyer, but those ships are capable to pull someone out of like travel, right? Like speed, pull out of light speed, right? So for those ships, yes, so Mantis got a similar job for that. It can pull someone out of quantum travel. Okay, so before I tell you guys more about that, so let's take a look first. At the beginning, you can see there's a cockpit with glasses, which is very nice, especially in a very dangerous space. Like, yeah, so a rock or stone hit it, like if they smash through the glass, then something very interesting will happen inside of the ship. I can guarantee that. Alright, so with a big glass for the ship. It's very, very fun. Okay, now you can see you got two size 3 laser cannons in here. It can provide you a decent firepower. In here, there's engines, and then engines as well, and then I would say nothing else because the right hand side technically is identical to the left hand side. This is a small ship, by the way, so yeah, there's nothing I can talk about from the outside. Let's get into it first. A piece of advice: if you approach the ship from the back, make sure one thing. I will show it to you, okay? Just watch this one first, okay? Okay, I will approach this ship from the back, right? Okay, I press this one. See? Yup, the elevator. Be careful with the elevator. If you approach your ship from the back, make sure you need to turn your back, okay, towards the front. So it means that make sure you're not facing the front when you're pressing the button. You make sure you're like turning your back against it, okay? Because yeah, as you know, if you didn't pay attention while approaching from the back and switch that thing on, call your elevator, and meanwhile you're playing your mobile phone, yeah, you will know your smartphone, then you will know what will happen, right? It turns out you will become a meat pie. Alright, so be aware of this. Okay, make sure you approach it from the front or like turning your back towards the front, okay? Make sure the cockpit and the gun is right in front, like at the back of you, okay? So this is what you need to be careful of, okay? Here, the right hand side of the ship is a kitchen. So you can eat or drink in here if it's functional, currently it's not, okay? As long as you can eat and drink from the inside the ship, it means that you can stay on the ship for longer, stay in the server for a longer time. That's a very good thing to do. Second, here you got two useless panels and two non-functional like space in here. I think in the future, these spaces for you will be accessible, so it means that you can repair your modules in the ship. It's very nice, but currently you can't. In here, the left hand side of the ship, you got a old style Japanese toilet. This toilet is old fashioned enough that currently you can see it in many places already. Now, like a few hundred years later, it's still hanging around. Alright, so probably the ancestors didn't throw the toilet away. Yeah, and as you can see, this is just a toilet, no sink in here at all. And this ship don't have sinks as well, so it means that you can't wash your hands. As a solo ship, it kind of explained to you, you don't need to shake hands to anyone, so it means that it's less likely for you to like spread the germs. Secondly, maybe the people in the future are strong enough, healthy enough that don't afraid of germs at all. So yeah, that's why they don't need to wash their hands. Okay, so never mind, let's close it. In here is a bed. for you to lock out and lock back in. Please don't do that, especially in 3.15, because there's some bugs going on which you lock out from by using that bad. Then probably in the future, like when you lock back in, then you will find yourself like getting a very interesting I mean, you may see something very interesting. For example, like you will be alone in space or in somewhere else without your ship. Yeah, so do not lock out with the bed, okay? By using the bed. In here is a cockpit. Alright, so talk about the view. Very nice if you talk about looking at the front, not at the side or at the top or at the bottom of the ship. Alright, just at the front. That's still good. Alright, yeah, it's reasonable for me because it's not a combat ship anyway. It's not a fighter, so why not? And if you talk about firepower, 2 laser cannons in here, very strong enough. Yes, reasonable to defend yourself. You have 2 size 1 shields, I think, still reasonable as a small ship, and as a non-fighting ship, non-combat ship, it's still reasonable for me. Missiles, 2 of them, is still okay. Now, the biggest weapon is not about the guns for the ship, okay? The biggest weapon of the ship is this one. This bubble. The red bubble. Alright, so this red bubble, what does it mean? Okay, so this red bubble, technically, if you are talking about like, why there's a sign here, probably the other ships, I think. Alright, so this bubble technically is like, it's a system for you to snare people out of quantum travel. Alright, if I switch it on, activate it, you will start to spin faster and faster and create a field. This field will stop people from doing any kind of quantum traveling. And the top right corner, you can see here's a sign. Like got one more sign here. It means that no quantum traveling. So you're successfully stop anyone from quantum traveling. Yeah, I forgot which button I can use in order to snare people out of quantum travel. This one just stop people from using quantum travel to escape. Currently, it's not really functional for me because first, it's weak. Secondly, alright, so first of all, this system is kind of weak due to gameplay design. Secondly, if you talk about the NPCs, no worries, they won't run away. They are very brave. They will fight to the end. So there's no need for you to use this system at all. So mainly, if you really need to use this system, first you are against a real player, alright, real human player. So that's why they will keep using quantum travel to escape if they need it. So this ship can stop them from doing that. That's very nice. And it's not quite useful for me because currently CIG haven't finished developing something like how to say, the map. Okay, the map that shows you all the routes that players used for quantum traveling. Once that map completes, you will see that map, like the routes, that how frequent the players or NPC will use them for traveling. Then that makes this ship become more useful if you're playing some sort of bad people, or even you're doing some bounty missions. You can snare people out of quantum traveling easier compared to now, like compared to current state. Okay, just like you can see the river, and now you kind of like putting a net on the river, like in the river, so to catch more fish. Alright, this will help. but now it's not, so it means that it's hard for you to catch any people. Alright, so let's talk about some pros first, okay? Let me switch on
engines. Take off.
Okay. Okay, for some reasons that is a person. Alright. So get to the station first, the outpost first. Well, if you talk about like how useful the ship, I would say it's quite useful. Well, of course, it's useful. So how useful is this? So let's see. This ship is quite fast in the atmosphere comparing to the other ships. Like it can compete with some light fighter as well, which is very good. And you've got enough space back there, so it means that if you want to do some sort of like box delivery, it's possible, and it's good as well. Yeah, you got a very fast speed, so you can deliver anything you wanted, or maybe you just simply want to go to the washroom very urgently. Then the speed of the ship can help you, okay, to go somewhere faster. All right, but of course, if you're talking about turning while with full speed, then just watch it, because you might like get your thrusters too much pressure, so it may damage your thruster easily. But besides of this, it's very comfortable to control it, especially in the blue zone. All right. So secondly, if you talk about landing. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong thing.
Landing gear.
Oh, by the way, the Valkyrie. I just make that video about the Valkyrie. Okay, if you talk about landing, I would suggest you to use a third-person mode by pressing F4. Why would you say that? Well, why am I going to say that? Because if you can see, which you can't see, yes, the same as what I'm looking at right now. I can't see it at the bottom of my ship. I don't know how close to the ground that I am, how close it is, okay? And your landing gear, if you press F4, you can see your landing gear is right at the back of your seat, and also very close to the middle of the ship. So you may have a hard time to guess whether you are landed or not. So it's better for you to check it out with the F4 by pressing F4, the third person view, to see whether you landed or not. If not, you might hit your ship very hard against the ground. Alright, so I'm landed. Okay, now let's talk about some pros and cons about the ship first, okay? Pros is this ship is quite cheap about the price point, right? For in-game credits, it's about 1.2 million in-game credits. That's very nice. Yes, and you can fly very fast, which is very good for boxes delivery, because you got like what? You got some space up back there, so it means that you have a very good chance for you to put some boxes back there to kind of doing boxes delivery, and this ship can fly very fast, which makes it more efficient. That's very nice. However, if you talk about some cons, well, or maybe I finish my pros first, okay? Is that person going to try to take a look at my ship? But anyway, yeah, I think he is. Okay, so you got some more systems in here, so you can get more gameplays in the future. Not for now, but in the future. So you can kind of doing bounty missions with your friends. That would be nice. Alright, so because it's 1.2 million, so you've got more systems to use, that's very reasonable. Yep, but how about the cons? The cons is, well, it's too expensive for boxes delivery. As you know, well, I kind of like introduced like 125A, right? The origin 125A is which is a ship from 100 series. So if you want to purchase a ship for boxes delivery only, I will purchase the 100i, the cheapest among the 100 series. Why I would say that? Because, well, for 100i, you've got plenty of space to put the boxes already, and it can fly it can perform as good as what the Mantis can do in the atmosphere. Of course, you spend less fuel as well, so it's a very good advantage. Secondly, about the costs. 1.2 for the Mantis, while around 600 to 700,000 in-game credits. Okay, what I'm talking about is in-game credits. Okay, so 600 to 700,000 in-game credits for the 100i, which 100i definitely is a winner if you talk about like box delivery only and flying in the atmosphere. The performance, I mean. Alright, so that would be a little bit harsh for the Mantis. I hope he's not trying to ram me. Did he? Okay, never mind about him. Alright, so let's talk about fighting capabilities, okay? If you talk about fighting, I would say this is not a good ship for fighting, as if you want to take a fighting ships with 1.2 million, you can purchase what? You can purchase a Hawk, Anvil Hawk, that costs you 1.1 to 1.2 million in-game credits, and you got more firepower against your opponents. So that's good enough for comparing to the Mantis, which the Mantis only got 2 laser cannons and also like 2 missiles. I know Anvil Hawk doesn't have any kind of missiles, but it got stronger firepower, and you can get maybe a Titan, like Avenger Titan, Aegis Avenger Titans already with that price point. So there's no need for you to kind of get a fighting ship like Mantis, which is not, okay? If you want fighting, then Mantis is not your cup of tea, kind of, okay? Will not be your first choice, right? And if you save up a little bit more, like 200,000 more, then you can purchase a Buccaneer, the Drake Cup Buccaneer, which is contain a lot more firepower than this Mantis, which is nice. And so another cons about the ship is, well, because the game development is not fully complete yet, so it turns out the Mantis have less things to do currently. Yeah, except for boxes deliveries or something like that. Okay. And the last thing is the cost. Of course, in game, you can buy something better already. How about the real money? Yes, of course, if you want to support the game, you can purchase more ships with higher price. That's of course, right? It costs you, okay, so if you really want to have this ship, and this ship is your cup of tea, you want to support the game development, then you can purchase this ship, okay, at the store right now. It could cost you around $150. But why I would say the price point is not good? Because if you talk about this price point, $150, and if you want more gameplay in the game currently, then I would suggest you to purchase something called a Freelancer Max. Yes, the ship that I make a tour before, a video before. The Freelancer Max got more firepower, first of all. Secondly, it's larger, got larger shieldings and also larger cargo capacity. Not larger, but it got cargo capacity because Mantis got 0, while the Freelancer Max got 120 SEO of cargo. So you can do trading with the Freelancer Max, and also you can do some decent combat with the Freelancer Max compared to the Mantis. So if you talk about the same price point, I would say I would choose the Freelancer Max instead of the Mantis. Of course, you can purchase whatever you wanted, but I would just say that it would be more worthy to purchase the Freelancer Max instead of like the Mantis currently. Okay, so that's it um, for my opinions about the Mantis and the ship tour of Mantis already. So yeah, if you think this video is helpful, feel free to leave a like, and if you think yeah, I need to improve something, or if you want to ask something, feel free to leave a comment down below. And I shall see you guys next time with more ship tour or location tour or something else. Alright, probably it's not fighting, but anyway, yeah, never say never. Yeah. Alright, so that's it. And I shall see you guys next time then. Okay, bye bye.